You're looking for a water heater that won't quit on you in the middle of a shower, that fits in a tight space, and that actually saves you money over the years, not just a glossy spec sheet you can't decode. That hesitation you feel when you stare at a wall-mounted unit in the showroom is real, especially when the price tag is higher than a traditional tank and you're not sure if the upgrade will pay off. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I started digging into tankless water heaters, the first thing I noticed was how many different claims pop up. Never run out of hot water, smart, efficient design, compact size. Those sound great until you start picturing your family's morning routine, a backyard garden hose, or the occasional guest who wants a long, relaxing soak. The Rinnai RX180iN is marketed as a one-model anywhere solution, meaning the same unit can be used in a small apartment or a larger single-family home. But the real question is whether that versatility translates into everyday peace of mind. Let's walk through the practical side of installing and living with this heater. First, the unit is gas-powered and uses a condensing technology that extracts extra heat from the exhaust gases, which is why Rinnai calls it smart, efficient. In plain English, that means you get more hot water per unit of gas compared to a standard non-condensing tankless model. For a household that runs multiple fixtures at once, say the dishwasher, washing machine, and a couple of showers, you will notice the water stays consistently hot, without the temperature dip you sometimes get with cheaper units. That's a concrete benefit you can feel, not just a number on a brochure. The installation factor is where many buyers hit a wall. Rinnai explicitly recommends professional installation, and that's not just marketing fluff. You need a gas line that can handle the flow rate, proper venting for the condensing exhaust, and an electrical connection for the smart controls. If you're comfortable pulling a permit and coordinating with a licensed plumber, the process usually goes smoothly, and you end up with a sleek, wall-mounted unit that frees up floor space. But if you were hoping to DIY and save a few $100s, you'll probably hit unexpected code requirements that end up costing more in the long run. In that sense, the hidden trade-off is the upfront labor expense versus the long-term energy savings. Now, who actually benefits from the RX180iN? If you have a family of 3 or more, or you often run multiple hot water appliances at the same time, the continuous hot water flow is a game changer. Imagine a Saturday morning where the kids are brushing teeth, you're brewing coffee, and the laundry is on. No more waiting for the tank to recover, no more cold bursts mid-shower. The unit's 180,000 BTU input rating gives it enough headroom to serve a typical 3-bathroom home without needing a second heater. On the other hand, if you're living alone or in a studio apartment where you rarely have more than one faucet running, you might not extract enough value to justify the higher purchase price and installation cost. In those smaller scenarios, a traditional tank or a lower-capacity tankless model could be more economical. Let's talk about the everyday strengths that show up after the warranty period. The Smart Sense feature lets the heater auto-adjust its output based on incoming water temperature and flow, which means you get a consistent shower temperature even if the city water gets colder in winter. I've heard from homeowners who say they finally stopped fighting the thermostat dial because the unit learns how to compensate on its own. The compact footprint is another win. The unit hangs about a foot off the wall, leaving room for a small shelf or a utility cart that would otherwise be taken up by a bulky tank. For homes where every square foot counts, think loft apartments or renovated basements, that space saving is noticeable. On the flip side, there are practical weaknesses you'll notice once the unit is in daily use. Because it's a gas-fired system, you'll need to ensure proper ventilation, which can be a hurdle in older homes with limited venting options. Some users report that the initial warm-up period when you first turn the heater on after a long idle takes a minute or two before you get a full blast of hot water. That's not a deal-breaker, but it's something to factor in if you're used to the instant hot water from a tank. Another nuance is the water pressure requirement. The unit performs best with a minimum flow rate of around 0.5 GPM. If your home's plumbing is on the low-pressure side, you might notice the heater throttling back, which could be misinterpreted as a lack of power. Energy cost savings are often the headline that draws people in. The condensing technology can improve efficiency by up to 30% over a non-condensing tankless model, which translates into lower gas bills over time. For a household that uses around 60 gallons of hot water a day, the annual savings can be several $100s.